That's, you know, it's a bit vague, to be honest.
So you don't know?
No.
Steve is writing your lyrics, and he said that it's like some kind of psychological therapy for him.
I can believe that.
Does Marillion have songs written by you or the other members of Marillion?
No, none of us write lyrics apart from Steve. I mean, we write the music, or Steve helps with the music as well. But yeah, that's the contribution. Well, that's what I do is write music. I don't write words. So yeah, I mean, Steve's lyrics on this album, the sort of, with the exception of "Thank You, Whoever You Are," which is really established, I'm not sure what it's about. The rest of them are sort of, you could divide into two types of lyrics. One's quite personal and about his own, what's going on in his own life, and the rest are about what's happening in the world, like child poverty, climate change, and all the shit that's going on, basically. And so that's,
Okay, so can you tell us more on the thematics of the album? Because I heard that you composed 19 songs. And,
yeah, there's some. Yeah, we've got quite a few that we haven't used yet. We recorded more songs than we needed, and then we decided which ones were going to go on the album. We tried to find songs that worked well together. So the ones we've got left, pretty much, we've got maybe half, 3/4 of the next album ready. So that's why we're planning to put another album out next year. This time next year.
Okay. But concerning the thematics of the songs, can you tell us more about that?
Yes, Somewhere Else, the title track, that's a personal lyric. Steve got divorced a couple of years ago, and moving house and all that stuff, and so that's pretty much what that's about, really. The whole sort of disruption that happens in your life, and he felt that everything was, he was somewhere else. And also, we called the album Somewhere Else because we felt that we'd moved musically, we'd moved somewhere else, and we thought it was a good title to describe how we were feeling about how things were going. What else have we got? Last Century for Man. That's about what's happening in the world. You sort of look at Iraq and Afghanistan and climate change and all these things, and it's a pretty bleak song, but it's sort of saying, well, is this the last century for man? What's going to be? Are we still going to be here at the end of this century? What other tracks are there? I haven't got a copy of the album. A Voice from the Past. That was inspired by. We did a bit of stuff for Make Poverty History last year, and that's basically about child poverty and what's going on in countries where people are starving to death every day. Another happy song.
Okay. Yeah. Do you prefer write a concept album like Misplaced Childhood or Marbles, or an album more traditional like Somewhere Else?
When we've made concept albums, like Misplaced Childhood, Brave was the one you didn't mention. Those two for me were quite similar in that we had an idea of what we were going to do. Once we got started writing, then we in the fairly early stages, and Marbles, we knew we were going to make a concept album. We had a theme and we were working towards something. I find that really a great way of working. I really enjoy that because you know what you're trying to do, Whereas if you're writing lots of different songs, you never really know when you're finished. And with Somewhere Else, that's why we ended up with so many songs, because we didn't stop. And we were going, and then we went, we've got too many now. And we didn't want to do another double CD, so that's why we had to decide which ones were going to go on this album. But yeah, for me, working on a concept album is, I find it more enjoyable and more fulfilling as well. But you can't always do that. Just because you think it's good to do, you can't make it happen. If you try to force it, if you try to say, okay, we're going to do another concept album, but we haven't decided what it's going to be about, it's hard. You have to have the idea first. So I'm sure we'll probably do another one at some point. We may even do another. Well, the next one won't be a concept album because some of it's already finished. But maybe after that we might do another one. Who knows?
Okay. At the beginning of your career, you have been criticized and compared to Genesis. So, what are your relationships with this band?
Well, at the beginning of our career, we did sound a bit, quite a lot like Genesis in some ways. Fish sang a bit like Peter Gabriel, and there was some similarities in the music, but I mean, because at the time we denied it. No, we don't sound like Genesis, but I can see that we did. I mean, when you look, especially the very early stuff, wasn't something we did on purpose. It was just because that's when you start making music. I think you tend to sound like the people that you listen to and the music that you like. You know, it takes a while to develop your own identity and your own style. So that's really what happened there, and over time we've changed. And there's not really any similarity with Genesis these days. And I don't even know. I mean, what did Genesis do? I thought they split up.
But considering your relationship with the band, with the members of the
Oh, I see. Well, no, I met them once or twice, but I don't know them. You know, went to see them play once in Rome and said hello and had a drink with them, but that's it. You know.
And what do you think of the wave of coming back of all bands like Queen, Pink Floyd, AC/DC, Genesis?
How do you mean? What the?
Well, because a lot of bands like them are coming back, and we thought they were split, so they are coming back.
Oh, I see bands that reform.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's difficult for Queen to reform with Freddie being dead and AC/DC. Well, I suppose, you know. I don't know. It seems to me like it's always about the money. It's always about getting out and doing the big stadium tours, and you know, I'd say let's hear some new music. You know, because most of them don't even bother making a new album, do they? They just get together and make as much money as possible, and then go and do whatever it was they were doing before. So I don't think it's really very, very good.
Okay. So this is our last question, and I always conclude the interviews with a question which doesn't concern the band or your recording. Fun question.